basically, I want to start today by talking about the basic program I have outlined that we're putting into the book. I've come up with this program working with a number of clients, on my own, in person, as well as through online, and I've devised something of a system. Now, it's by no means the only system out there for people to get started and get into a fitness routine, but it's one that's worked very well for me and clients in the past, and it's one that I think is a great starting point for many people. What I generally like to do with a basic fitness program is start everybody on a total body calisthenics routine. A total body program means that you're going to be working all the major muscle groups, upper body, lower body, arms, legs, core, all that, in one session. And a session means one workout, 45 minutes to an hour of exercise. And calisthenics means you're using your body weight. So you're doing things like push-ups, like lunges, like squats. Nothing involving any machines or any equipment at all. Now, there's a couple of benefits. There's a couple of reasons I've developed this program and decided to go in this direction over and over again. And that is, first of all, working the whole body, you're going to burn a lot of calories. You're using all the muscles in your body. That's going to stimulate your metabolism. That's going to burn the most amount of calories in the least amount of time for a strength training program. Second, if you're hitting all the muscles in a single bout of exercise, you are going to be able to hit all the muscle groups more often. For example, if you work out 3 times a week, and every workout you hit all the muscle groups, you're going to be able to hit all the muscle groups 3 times a week, versus following a split program where you're hitting, say, upper body one day, lower body the next day, core the third day. You're hitting everything once a week. So this gives the added benefit of hitting everything more often, which, as a beginner, is great, because you're not able to do that hard. You're not able to work so hard that you're completely trashed for days and days and days. So you can bounce back, you can do the program again, you can see results faster that way. A third thing is calisthenics, bodyweight exercises, have a lot of benefits, especially for the beginner. I think everyone should do these on a regular basis, but for the beginner, they're even more advantageous. What using your body weight does is it allows you to improve your balance, improve your coordination. It allows you to focus on your form, your technique, your posture, your flexibility, more so I think than other forms of exercise, because you don't have the distractions of equipment. I love free weights. I work out with free weights 5 or 6 days a week, sometimes twice a day. I love them and I swear by them. They work. But if you're someone who has never really consciously engaged different muscle groups in your body, sometimes they're not the best way to start out. If I take a brand new person off the street who's never been in a gym before, who does not know how to use any equipment, and I ask them to do a push-up, they're going to know about what that is. If I ask them to do an overhead military press, they probably won't. So, right away you have that expectation. I know what doing a push-up is. I know what lunging down looks like, because I do that sometimes when I pick things up off the ground. These are functional movements that we're familiar with in our day-to-day life. Now, if I take that same person and I coach them extensively on how to do a push-up perfectly, what muscles to feel, how to keep your posture in place, or same thing with a lunge, where your knees should be, what muscles to engage, how you should breathe. These are all things that you're taking a familiar functional motion, you are perfecting it, you are really stressing the form, and you're building good motor patterns, you're building a good skill set that's going to carry over into everything. And you don't have the questions of, well, how much weight should I use? How fast should I move the weight? Etc., etc. There's a lot of examples I can come up with. But basically, if you're just using your body, there's less distractions, there's more to focus on, and it's going to carry over more into day-to-day life. There's nothing more functional than calisthenic exercise. You're moving your body through space. And that's what our bodies are designed to do. At some point in a not-too-distant past, there weren't gyms, there weren't weights, there weren't any of these things, and we just had to use our bodies. So, I think that's a very advantageous point to start at. And that's the way we start out with the beginner program. Now, I will say there are some special populations where a lot of calisthenics are either extremely challenging or out of the question. For the physically disabled, for the elderly, someone who has not been active and is not in physical condition to move their own body weight, for the very, very overweight individual, something like lunges would be out of the question, way too much pressure on the knees. For these special populations, starting on a machine or otherwise assisted program would be more appropriate. So I'm more talking about the beginner who's fairly healthy, doesn't have any serious complications, any serious problems, any serious disabilities, and is not seriously overweight, it works for everyone. I have clients who are in their teens doing a program like this. I have clients who are approaching 80 doing a program like this. So aside from those special populations, there's no limit on this sort of routine. The exercises that we're going to include in this program, and these are going to be in separate videos for you to watch my demonstration on each one, are push-ups. And we have progressions and regressions so that everyone can do them unless they're in a special population. Pull-ups, inverted rows for those of you who cannot do pull-ups, and again, these will be covered in a video. Inverted rows, basically rowing your body weight rather than pulling it up this direction. Body weight squats. Form is very critical on all these things, but especially on the squat, and I think squatting is a very important motion. Lunges. Dips off of a bench or off of bars where you're pushing yourself up. And calf raises. Calf raises are anything like standing on a step, pushing through your toe, extending your ankle, raising your body up. These are basic exercises that are going to work your chest, your back, your thighs, and your calves. Now, in addition to that, obviously it's very important to work your core. This is something everyone should be doing. So we're going to include some core exercises, but you'll have a whole vast array of options for core work. You'll have a vast array of options for all these exercises, but like I said, this is a program that I've found very successful for a lot of people. Essentially, what you want to do with this program is start at the most basic rendition if you're a beginner. Doing one exercise, or each exercise one at a time for 2 sets of 15 repetitions, or something like calf raises, you may want to do 20 to 30 repetitions, depending on the difficulty. You want to focus on 2 things, and this is something I hammer in all of my videos and all of my discussions. You want to focus on posture, because if your posture is bad, your form is going to be wrong. And you want to focus on your technique, what muscles you're using, what muscles you're not using, how fast you're going, all those things. You want to keep your head in the game. You don't want to be looking in the mirror or thinking about work or anything like that. Focus on what you're doing. So if your posture is good and you're focusing, you're going to get a lot of benefit from these exercises and you're going to improve quickly. Next, I would go to 3 sets of 15 on these exercises. And this will be written out, this will be in our book, so I'm going to write articles. But, just so you know, 3 sets of 15. Next, I would go to supersets. And I like to pair upper and lower body exercises when possible. So, for example, you might do push-ups, do your 15 repetitions, hop up, and do your body weight squats. That's going to allow you to work hard, but it's using totally different muscles. One, you're using your chest and arms, the other, you're using your thighs. Totally different muscles, so going from one to the other will not slow you down. If your arms are tired, your legs might be fine, even though you're breathing a little bit, so you can go quickly and effectively from one to the next. After that, I would go to circuits, where you're doing 3 or more exercises in a row without stopping. So boom, 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 rest, repeat. From there, you can add sets or reps as you feel necessary, but right there, that's already 4 progressions. So if you're taking 2 to 3 weeks on each progression, you're looking at several months of exercise and several months of consistent progress using the same basic exercises. It's a very advantageous thing to do. Now, what if you're not a beginner? If you're watching this video and you're not a beginner, these exercises definitely still have merit. If you are an advanced athlete, or even an intermediate athlete who goes to the gym regularly, who knows how to do a split program, who's great with their squats and their deadlifts and their weighted lunges and their bench presses and all that, calisthenics are a great way to cross-train. Cross-train means doing something different, doing something you're not used to reap additional fitness benefits. Doing calisthenics is going to tax your small motor muscles, your balance muscles a little bit more than some of the free weight exercises. It's also going to change the resistance, change the feel of the exercises, push muscle endurance more, because if you're a fit person, you can probably do more than 15 push-ups. You can probably do 40 or 50 in a row. Knee push-ups for women, toe push-ups for men, or some women are excellent at toe push-ups. But doing more is going to push you, if you're used to doing 3 sets of 10 with a heavy weight, and all of a sudden you drop down and do 50 push-ups, that feels totally different. In addition, and this is a benefit for everyone, including beginners, calisthenics require no equipment. You don't need a gym, you don't need barbells or dumbbells or stretch bands or machines or cables or anything. You only need a little bit of floor space and a bar for the pull-ups or inverted rows, but we can kind of work around that. That's the one that's you can skip, for example. So right away, if you're a beginner, you're learning exercises that you can do when you're traveling, in hotels, on the road. You can do them at home if you have no equipment and you just have 20 or 30 minutes to work out. And if you're an advanced athlete who works out in a gym and has a very specific program, you can still do these exercises when that equipment you use is unavailable. So this is a very important skill. There goes the excuse of, I couldn't get to a gym so I couldn't work out, or I didn't have time to work out. Guess what? You have 20 minutes and you have 4 square feet of floor space, you can work out your whole body. Boom, there you go. In addition, even if you're an advanced trainee, if you're taking these exercises and you're doing them all in a row, 5 or 6 exercises in a row without resting, you're doing high reps, low rest in a circuit, you're going to get cardiovascular exercise out of that too. So you're cross-training, you're building muscle endurance, you're building cardiovascular endurance, you're not requiring any equipment, so it's very versatile. There's a lot of benefits basically. So even if you're not a beginner, I would pay attention to these exercises and I would keep them as your kind of ace in the hole for when you need to get a workout in and you're not in an ideal situation of a gym with every piece of equipment you could want and 2 hours of time to kill working out. So keep these things in mind. Watch the videos. As I said, it's all going to be laid out. Pay attention to the progressions, watch the videos, and yeah, enjoy. I hope these things benefit you as much as they benefited myself and a lot of my clients. And stay tuned, we're going to post intermediate and advanced workouts as well, and a lot of fun tips and a lot of cooking demonstrations.